Hey there guys, it's James, and today I'm just going to be doing a little video outlining some of my goal races for 2021. Obviously, last year in 2020 we had COVID and that cancelled a lot of races. A lot of races and events were moved about and rescheduled, so I completely played havoc with what I had planned. But now in 2021, fingers crossed, things will be going ahead later in the year, and I have some big races and some big challenges planned. So let's have a look at those now. So, all of my races this year are either trail races or they are obstacle course races, and I'm really going to be focusing on pushing the distance and running further than I ever have before. The longest race I've done in an official race format is a half marathon on the trail, and this year I'm hoping to go above and beyond that. The first race that I have is in June, and that is the Hardmoors White Horse Half Marathon. It's on trail, it's in beautiful scenery. But for a half marathon, it's actually about 27 kilometres, which is a lot longer than the standard 21. This will be the longest I've ever ran, and I'm hoping that if I put in some training, get those distances gradually built up, I should be fine. But I'm really excited to start pushing that distance and start moving towards the trail marathons and the trail ultras. In July, I have a couple of obstacle races. The main one of these is my Spartan races. So I'm going down to Market Harper in the Midlands, and I have a Spartan Super on a Saturday, and then the following Sunday I have a Spartan Sprint. So those two races back to back. That'll be really interesting to see if my body can hold up to two races in a row like that. I did have a lot more obstacle races booked last year, but again, with reschedules, with things moving about, I'm going to be focusing on the longer, slower trails this year. In August, I have the Gateshead Trail 10k, and this is one of the few events of the year where I will be trying to push the pace a little bit and not just focusing on endurance and getting through the event. From what I can see from the course map, it is flat, it is fast, albeit still trail, and I'm really hoping that I can push throughout this event and maybe try and get a new PB for a Trail 10k and really test what my legs are capable of. In September this year, I have the Keswick Mountain Festival 25km race. So this one was only moved fairly recently and had been scheduled for May this year. So I had been training in January and February with the idea of being in shape for this in May. But it has now been moved to September, so that gives me a bit more time to prepare. This is 25km, so slightly shorter than the Hardmoors race, but with a lot more elevation. I think there's 800-900 metres of elevation over the course, and a lot of it is technical mountain running. So that should be really exciting, but also really tough on the legs, so I'm going to have to make sure I get enough training in on the uphills and the downhills for that one. And then towards the end of the year, in October, I have a Lakeland Trails race, and that is the Coniston 15km race. I have done quite a few of the Lakeland Trails series races before, and they're always really great events, really well run, really well signposted and marshalled. I've never run the Coniston one before, but again I've looked at the course profile. It's 15km and it looks like pretty much a straight up to the halfway point and then straight back down. So that should be really fun. I always do enjoy races like that, where you can push really hard in the first half and then really let rip on the downhills. That should be really interesting and really fun. I'm likely to have some smaller local races in between these ones, but they're my big main goals for the year. If the local trail series starts happening again, I'll have 5k races, and I might squeeze in a few more obstacle races as well, depending on how I'm feeling. At the moment I'm feeling fit and I'm gradually building that distance, but I'm just being super careful not to do too much too soon, not to overtrain and get injured. My main goal for this year is to complete the distances, to run further than I've run, and I can maybe focus on speed and breaking my own records towards the end of the year. That's all for now, just a quick little update today and something for me to look back on. As always, keep moving forward and I'll see you out on the trails.